The call went out just after midnight.
Dispatch from Secret Service. We have a possible break-in going on at our location.
According to court records, William DeFore ran up to the Vance home and began smashing out the first floor windows with a hammer.
2327. Do they have everybody they're looking for?
Yeah, we don't need anybody else here.
The U.S. Secret Service released a statement that reads in part, an adult male was taken into custody by the Cincinnati Police Department after being detained by U.S. Secret Service personnel for causing property damage, including breaking windows on the exterior of a personal residence associated with the vice president.
There's a permanent detail with him, as there is with the president, just not quite as large.
Denny Schlinwine is a retired Secret Service agent. He says when he was with the department, you didn't have all the surveillance equipment the Secret Service uses today.
When I was on the job, it would have been a lot simpler than it is now, just because of the tremendous amount of controversy involved in a whole lot of things.
William DeFore is facing 4 criminal charges. The most serious is 1 count of felony vandalism. He has a criminal past. Last April, he pled guilty to 2 counts of vandalism for damaging a Hyde Park interior design company and was sentenced to treatment at a mental health facility.
It was in 2023. I think it was a criminal damaging case, a relatively minor misdemeanor to where he was found incompetent to stand trial. Kind of unusual on a misdemeanor case, but that's what happened.
J.D. Vance responded on X saying in part, I appreciate everyone's well wishes about the attack at our home. As far as I can tell, a crazy person tried to break in by hammering the windows. I'm grateful to the Secret Service and the Cincinnati Police for responding quickly. We weren't even home as we had returned already to D.C.
If you have an overdue bill in Huntsville, the grace period to pay is officially over. Huntsville Utilities resumed service disconnects and late fees today. The utility paused disconnections to navigate a major software transition and later extended that buffer to assist those impacted by last year's government shutdown. But as of 8 a.m. today, HU is returning to normal billing operations. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell has what you need to know.
For months, the pressure was off for thousands of Huntsville utility customers, with disconnects paused last year. But starting this morning, the pause button is officially gone.
On November 17th, we shared with all of our customers that we would be reinstituting our late fee and disconnection policy on January 5th, giving them nearly additional 45 days to bring their accounts current. So we encourage customers during that time to pay as they could to keep their balances minimum so that they could not have large balances on January 5th.
If you haven't paid your bill in its entirety, Whitley says you can now expect to see a late fee in your account.
Throughout this entire process, customers will see on their bill if they have a balance that is past due. That continued to show up on the bill throughout this entire cycle from August forward. However, they will now see on their bill as well if they have a late fee.
If you're worried or concerned about paying your bill on time, the worst thing you can do is wait. Huntsville Utilities says to reach out to them as soon as possible going forward to let them know whether or not you'll be able to make those payments. One resident says paying bills is a part of life, one that everyone should be prepared for, but she understands some people may need a little help.
That's one of the major things in our lives, to have water and electricity. There are people who do need additional assistance, and it should be provided as long as you're doing something yourself to help yourself.
Huntsville Utilities tells customers to communicate if they are having any issues with their bill. They also suggest reaching out to utility assistance agencies if they need help. From Huntsville, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
And if you have any questions or concerns regarding your bill, you can contact Huntsville Utilities by calling 256-535-1200 or visiting the website. The biggest party in the South, Rock the South, is set to take the stage in Decatur for the first time ever this year. And with the start of 2026, Fox 54 visited Decatur to see how the city is preparing for the music festival. Here's a look and a listen.
We commend the city and we commend Peachtree Entertainment. We've worked incredibly close with both organizations throughout this process, many meetings in planning this, just thinking through what does this look like for our city, and the economic impact that this is going to have for Decatur and Morgan County is just going to be astronomical.
Emma Martin with the Decatur Morgan County Tourism Office spoke with Fox 54 as Decatur preps to host Rock the South for the first time in 6 months. She believes the festival could break some records.
We've seen anywhere from 50,000 to 100,000 people turn out for this event over a 3-day period, and we're expecting to hit those numbers here in Decatur, if not more. The best thing about our destination is we have great lodging. There's other attractions, so there's more to see, more places to stay to really build out that entire trip while they're here. So we're really expecting just massive numbers. We're hoping to, break some records this year.
While Peachtree Entertainment gets ready to bring in Rock the South to Decatur, Martin says you might see some more collaboration between local attractions and the festival.
We want you to feel the Rock the South. We want you to feel it when you walk downtown, when you're in the streets. We want you to feel the live music. We want the artist takeovers to take place. And Peachtree, in that partnership and being so well involved, they're getting involved with our already standing events as well. They're planning to participate in the Carnegie Carnival Parade. They're also planning to be at the Alabama Jubilee. So you'll start to see more of Peachtree Entertainment's staff, as well as the Rock the South brand throughout the city of Decatur as we lead up to the event.
For the city of Decatur, Rock the South is set to be one of the largest events ever hosted by the city, something Martin tells Fox 54 they believe they are ready to handle.
So we're really, really honored and blessed to have the opportunity. We're ready for the challenge. I think we thrive under pressure, and the tourism office is ready to bring, the best hospitality that you'll ever find here in Decatur, Alabama.
They say they're ready for the challenge. Well, the biggest party in the South is held in the River City this upcoming June, with featured artists including Jason Aldean, Riley Green, Big X the Plug, and Zach Top. Break is over, and across Alabama, kids are headed back to school amid a surge in the flu, and it's getting worse. Alabama is now ranked very high by the CDC for influenza. The spike began just before Christmas, and it hasn't let up. The Alabama Department of Public Health reports nearly 1 in 10 people visiting emergency rooms with flu-like symptoms are testing positive for the illness. And you can see it there on that map. The entire southern U.S. is feeling it too. We caught up with an expert at UAB Hospital who tells us even an imperfect vaccine is crucial.
We have vaccines available, even though this virus right now, the flu virus, is slightly different than what's in the vaccine. Early studies are showing that it's still effective. And nothing is 100% effective in medicine, but these vaccines really do work well to preventing hospitalization.
Dr. Lee stresses how important it is to keep sick children home and not spread the virus by sending them into crowded classrooms and school hallways. For many in the Tennessee Valley, the second semester starts tomorrow, and public health officials are urging people across the U.S. to get their flu vaccine ahead of the season's peak. Health officials say that simple precaution can also help slow the spread, like frequent hand washing, staying home when you're sick, and covering your cough.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
And a good Tuesday morning to you. I'm Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. I believe as you head out the door for work, get the kids on the school bus this morning, you're going to notice more cloud cover across the Tennessee Valley. Don't let that deter you, though. We are still going to be warm this morning, incredibly warm, as a matter of fact. I believe most of the kids are heading back to school this morning. 54 degrees at 7 a.m., 55 at 8, 57 by 9, 59 degrees by the time we get to 10 a.m. Yeah, early January, and already 59 degrees by the time we get to 10 o'clock in the morning. From there, temperatures are going to continue to climb as we head into the afternoon. Highs climbing into the low and mid 60s across the Tennessee Valley. I do think we'd be a little bit warmer today if it weren't for the cloud cover that is going to be present across the Tennessee Valley. All told, I really don't anticipate getting much in the way of any sort of sunshine. Maybe some light clearing as we head into the evening, but I think any sort of clearing is going to be difficult to come by. With that in mind, temperatures are going to stay relatively warm. 62 at 6, 61 at 7, 59 at 8, 58 degrees by the time we get to 9 o'clock. Notice temperatures are falling off somewhat slowly once we get beyond sunset. That is thanks to the increasing cloud cover. I do believe, just like last night, tonight is going to be another one of those nights when maybe you could turn the heater off, or at the very least give it a little bit of a break. It's probably not going to run all night tonight because temperatures are only going to drop off into the mid and upper 40s across the Tennessee Valley, and then warm again as we head into your Wednesday. Now, once we get to Wednesday, I do actually think we're going to get to enjoy a little bit of sunshine. So temperatures are going to climb a little bit more into the mid and upper 60s, making a pretty solid run at 70 degrees. And honestly, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if somebody over in Northwest Alabama, they're typically a little bit warmer than everybody else, actually makes it to 70 degrees. Here's Futurecast as we head into the lunch hour. We're talking about the chance for a couple of isolated showers across the Tennessee Valley. Emphasis here on isolated showers. Whatever does manage to develop this afternoon is going to be incredibly light in nature. It's not going to stick around too terribly long. In general, through the course of the afternoon, we're just going to be talking about a mostly cloudy or an overcast sky. We maintain that overcast sky through the overnight and then early into your Wednesday morning. Otherwise, the Wednesday morning commute is going to be without issue. Now, some breaks in the cloud cover through Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening, but then through the overnight, early into Thursday morning, cloud cover builds back in to the Tennessee Valley. It'll stick with us through Thursday afternoon. That cloud cover on Thursday afternoon is going to be ahead of our next system. Our next system comes in the form of a cold front, which by the lunch hour on Friday is going to be back off to our west. There is a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity associated with this cold front. Some of this activity is going to be on the stronger end of the spectrum. The greatest chance for anything severe, though, is going to be well off to the west. I believe this cold front is a few hours too fast as far as this model guidance is concerned, trying to bring it into the Tennessee Valley practically at the lunch hour. I don't think it's going to push its way into our neck of the woods until we get to the later part of the afternoon, early into the evening. At that point, these showers and thunderstorms aren't going to pack near the punch that they're going to pack out west. So some good news there. As it does move through the Tennessee Valley, though, I do anticipate getting some heavy rain and maybe some gusty winds. We could use the heavy rain. The month of December left us with a bit of a deficit across the Tennessee Valley. So honestly, we could use some rain here in the month of January. Have a good look at the next 7 days. 64, 65, Tuesday, Wednesday, 68, 70, Thursday, Friday. Now, we are going to get cooler as we head into the weekend. It's not supposed to be close to 70 degrees in early January. We all know that. 57 on Saturday, and even that is still above average. Closer to average by the time we get to Sunday and Monday of next week with plenty of sunshine. I've got 50 degrees each day. Stick around to Fox 54 Plus. Got more weather and traffic updates coming up.
For det første så mener jeg, at man skal tage den amerikanske præsident alvorligt, når han siger, at han ønsker Grønland. Men jeg vil også gøre klart, at hvis USA vælger at angribe et andet NATO-land militært, så hører alting op. Altså inklusiv vores NATO og dermed den sikkerhed, som er blevet tilvejebragt siden afslutningen på 2. verdenskrig. Jeg er enig i, at det er vigtigt, at der er sikkerhed og fred og tryghed i det arktiske område. Det er jo derfor en af grundene til, at vi er med i NATO. Grønland er også med i NATO. Det er et fælles ansvar for de arktiske stater herunder kongeriget at sørge for, at der er sikkerhed og fred og frihed i det arktiske område. Men Danmark har altid været en god allieret til USA. Det ønsker vi fortsat at være. Men jeg bliver også nødt til at anholde noget af det, der bliver sagt fra amerikansk side, og vi vil selvfølgelig ikke affinde os med en situation, hvor man truer os og Grønland på den her måde.
Qoyanarsiullerp pingaartippaga oqaatigissallugu nunarput Venezuelamut sanillersuunneqarnera taanna pissuissamisoortutut isiingilara uangut ilingivangut nunatsinni ingerlatsinerput tamatoqartussaa qataaneran ааllaавилимми ингерланикуу сулеқатигиннерлу укиорпанни ингерланикуу таамаатторли саниллерсуунеқарнера илаатигуллуама эрнуматитсинера тамаккиисуме қивиарутсигу оқариартуутит нунарпу пиллугу пинери пиффиссами тассани таана эрнуматитсисо паасисиннаавара нунатсиннингаани сулиссутерпут саккортусисамал сулиақарнерпут тассааво нуна тамалаакорнан оқалоқатигиннер саккортусисумик ингерлаппарпут сиорнатигун америккармиунут оқалоқатигин тоққааннарнерусор питтаанерусорлу пилерсинниарнеқарнера акуэн сиорнатив илуатсинникуунгит мааннак таан саккортусисами ааммалерсорлу ингерлаппарпут пингаартумик сулеқатигиннер налигиннаасор питтаасорлу утертиттариақаратсигу оқассуунга мааннак наалаккерсуиснингаанни такорлуунгиларпут уннуами аама тассани иниссисимасоқангилар уннуами америккармиутикериасаарлутик арлаанни илиусеқассасу тассани тоқангилар таамаам уивиссангилагу оқалоқатигин питтаасо утертиссуарпут упалунгарсиманиссаму тунгасу налигиннаасумик атаавартуми мисиссуиффингаагут аама қулааяаффингаагут таана соорунами аамааннаккуингерла.
We are assembling now, as you know, for a Gang of Eight briefing on the operation in Venezuela. What's very important to acknowledge here is that this is an operation that did not require prior consent of Congress, prior authorization of Congress.
The more we learn, the more we realize how fundamentally corrupt this action is. It has nothing to do with the Venezuelan people because it appears as if they are leaving Maduro's party in charge. The repression will continue. It has nothing to do with drugs coming to the United States because Venezuela wasn't sending drugs to the United States. They were sending drugs to Europe. Increasingly, Donald Trump is saying out loud that it's just about the oil.
Look, I can tell you, as Speaker of the House, as the person who's in charge of defending Article I powers, I'm just going to insist to you that those have not been traversed in any way by what happened here.
The president went right back to repeat that the U.S. will now apparently run Venezuela for a while. On and on and on. No plan, no clarity, only chaos.
But simply saying now, we're going to run it based upon a fleet offshore, I have no idea what that looks like. And the idea that somehow the Venezuelan oil is going to pay for this operation, that was the exact same argument used in Iraq. That didn't come to pass.
High prices, high interest rates, and low inventory have shut out many potential homebuyers in recent years. But many housing experts say 2026 could open the door to more affordable housing options.
All this new home supply is hitting the market at a time where the demand is still somewhat sluggish.
Lawrence Yoon with the National Association of Realtors says more inventory means less competition for home buyers. The other good news is home prices are starting to dip. The latest data shows the median existing home sale price in November was just over $409,000, a slight drop from October. And mortgage rates are starting to drop as well. As of last week, a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage was 6.15%, according to Freddie Mac.
Even a quarter-point change could mean about $50 savings per month, which translates into about $600 annually.
Yoon says spring is when most homes come on the market. So if you're looking to buy, here's what Yoon suggests you do now so you're in a good position to make a competitive offer in a few months. Set a budget. Save for a down payment. Make sure your credit score is good. Get pre-approved for a mortgage. And don't take out any big loans like a car payment.
That scares off some of the lenders, or they will charge higher interest rate to compensate for larger debt load.
Yoon says homes are sitting on the market for about only 40 days from listing to contract signing, so buyers do need to act fast and be prepared. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Today, HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy announced plans to alter the U.S. childhood vaccination schedule.
Health experts expressing concern over the Department of Health and Human Services' decision to recommend fewer vaccines for most American children.
If changes to our schedule are needed, and over the years we've made lots of changes when evidence supported it, they should come from careful scientific review.
A number of recommendations remain intact, including those for the measles, mumps, and rubella, and immunizations against polio, chickenpox, HPV, and others. But officials are narrowing recommendations for some vaccinations, including hepatitis A and B, to children who are broadly at higher risk for infections. As for flu, COVID-19, and rotavirus, officials recommend vaccination decisions be based on consultation with a healthcare provider. Some experts worry reduced vaccinations could lead to more preventable infections in children.
Parents deserve clear, consistent, evidence-based guidance they can trust.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
You think we're just gonna let you steal our fans?
K-pop Demon Hunters still has plenty of fans. It's up for a leading 10 nominations, including Best Picture at this year's Annie Awards, honoring the best in animation. Elio also received 10 nominations and is up for Best Picture. The other Best Picture nominees are Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, Zootopia 2, and The Bad Guys 2. The 53rd Annie Awards take place February 21st.
I said, there's no way if fire was going to make it all the way to our house.
That's downtown Altadena.
And it did. This was our family legacy.
You moved into a black community where we are not on the priority list to save our lives. They've been wanting to get us out of there for a very long time.
The documentary All the Walls Came Down shows many survivors of last year's devastating Eaton fire are facing a second disaster. Mortgage relief and rental assistance are running out, and families who lost generational wealth are at risk of displacement and homelessness. The film debuts on the LA Times website and YouTube channel Wednesday, the one-year anniversary of the Eaton fire. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
I'm traveling along Route 66.
Season 9 of Samantha Brown's Places to Love begins with the travel icon concluding her grand tour of the Mother Road.
Route 66 really was never on my radar of things that, I thought, hey, as a traveler, this is something that I want to have in my sort of portfolio of experiences. And in the end, it was something so poignant, and it really changed my life and my relationship with this country.
It's where motor lodges flash original neon signs and roadside restaurants serve up hearty meals like they have for decades.
There's so much to love about where we're from, that we do come from hard, difficult times and persistent people, and why we should be proud of that and keep moving forward.
Discover how this road made it into a literary classic and a #1 hit. And what we all owe to one man who fought the government to put Route 66 back on the map.
Yes, back. Route 66 was officially decommissioned in 1985, so Brown says when you go, take paper maps.
It's been chopped up, Route 66. Sometimes it follows a highway, really plain and simple. Other times it cuts into like more rural environments, and you're like, where the heck am I?
To go where the locals go, to be more a part of that community and have those experiences. And they still do exist in those towns. And there's a whole new generation of business owners and gas station owners and restaurant tours that are creating that next wave of Route 66. So it still really is not only alive, but it's only going to continue to grow.
It changed not only how we traveled, but the very spirit of the journey itself.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
A Morristown pawn shop runs a tight ship, but 24/7 security and plenty of surveillance cameras couldn't stop this break-in.
We come in the door about probably 8:20, and it was a disaster.
Trade Center owner Loretta Bryant showed up Sunday to a mess, but this wasn't your typical pawn shop problem, and the suspect wasn't looking for cash.
I went back and I said, what is it? And there was the little Chester, the little brown capuchin monkey sitting right in that door.
The furry culprit made his way in through a doggy door and past the pawn shop cats, all captured on surveillance video.
There was monkey messes everywhere.
It was a crime of opportunity and a little monkey business.
He really hated computer keyboards. There was 3 computer keyboards just bashed. The keys were laying in the floor.
In a store full of instruments, it was a jam session no one signed up for.
There was bags of potato chips busted from our crackers. I watched him open a pack of crackers and eat some.
Even the best detectives have to wonder.
What are they thinking about? I don't know.
After 5 decades, something a pawn shop's never seen.
In my wildest dream, could not have dreamt that.
A smash and grab without the grab, but this hometown store is now back to normal.
It's just a great place to live.
Even with monkeys.
Even with monkeys, right.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then, stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush. Fast-paced news updates featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True Crime Warrior Style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app. Available on Android and iOS devices. Streaming 24/7.
Did you know that you can get weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus? Here's how. Go to Fox 54 Plus on your Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, or Samsung. Once you're on the main screen, push the down arrow and click on the Fox 54 Plus Weather Impact 24/7 block. Here, you'll find radar, current temperatures and conditions, traffic cams, forecasts, and more, all available on demand. Want to get back to the main channel? Just push the down arrow and click on the 24/7 stream button. It's your weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus. Start streaming today.